responsibilities within that group of people. There could be an addition or two. We shuffled the deck a little bit.
In area college sports men's basketball, North Alabama comes to UNF Arena to tip it off against the Osprey men's team this evening. Game time is 7 p.m. The JU Dolphins men's team is home to face Central Arkansas. You can hear the game live on 1010XL. Tip-off is 7 p.m. ESPN announced Wednesday that former Alabama head coach Nick Saban would serve as a college football analyst for the network in 2024. ESPN said that Saban would work primarily as an analyst on its college game day pregame show. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:03, it's 59 degrees. Time and Tim brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Put some respect on my name.
First and foremost, my numbers are better than 15, 16 or so guys that are currently in the Hall.
Here's the handoff to Taylor looking for some cutback. He finds room. Look at Fred go. He's across the 30. Look at him run. Fred's going. He's at the 50, the 40.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
20, 10, 5, touchdown. 80 yards, Fred Taylor.
Talking modern day guys at my position.
When my name come up, respect it. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
And he's the handoff to Fred looking for the cutback. He's got room on the 10. Fred's there. He's at the 20. Fred's on the run to the 25 to the 30. He's going 40. Fred 50. Fred 40. Fred 30. Fred 25, 20.
Y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
You look at the guys that are in the Hall of Fame from a defensive standpoint. Ray Lewis, Derrick Brooks. Look at all these other guys they're trying to put in the Hall of Fame.
Gerard on the give. Here's Taylor.
Put some respect.
Busting through. Fred Taylor making a cut. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
These the same dudes that I murked every Sunday.
When my name come up, respect it. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna right on it.
But he knows he doesn't have a big play team, and Jacksonville does.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. Right, and here we go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Thursday of Super Bowl week, Super Bowl 58 coming up in just a few days. We'll find out tonight, unlike past years when we had to wait until the Saturday before the Super Bowl to see what the new Hall of Fame class will look like, and hopefully the second Jaguar ever will get named, and that will be Fred Taylor, Tony. I don't know what the buzz is like and the feeling. I don't see too many predictions. People like to write those stories. Here's the 5 who I think will get in. Here's the ones who I'd vote for. And I don't see too many people expecting Fred Taylor to break through, but I'm going to hold out hope, keep my fingers crossed with being the only running back on the ballot. It's not like, look, I get it. Antonio Gates, Julius Peppers look like they're shoo-ins, but there's not a bunch of others that absolutely have to take precedence over Fred Taylor. Like I saw one prediction that has Jari Evans, the former Saints guard. He's a very good player, right? I'm sure he made a bunch of Pro Bowls. Do I think Jari Evans deserves the Hall of Fame more than Fred Taylor? No. Am I biased? Absolutely. But, I think it shouldn't be shocking if Fred makes it in. I don't expect it because of the path Tony Baselli had to follow to make it to the finalist list multiple times to get in. This is Fred's first time being a finalist. But hopefully, at the very least, this has him on the radar. He's been steadily moving in this direction. Once you're in as a finalist, likelihood is you're going to get back in as a finalist multiple times until you get in. And I do think Fred will get in the next several years. I just hope it's tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you. Jari Evans, by the way, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-team All-Pro, did get a Super Bowl ring, and was a member of the Hall of Fame All-Decade team of the 2010s.
I'm not saying, again, he's a really good player.
Like, it's hard to keep track of the guards and, what exactly is going to be a Hall of Fame resume, but typically for a guard, that's a Hall of Fame resume, right? Basically a half decade of being a first-team All-Pro generally is going to get you into the Hall of Fame at some point. We'll see if that's this year for Evans. I'm with you. Fred Taylor, and that's why we're asking what we're asking today. That's the question of the day. Your argument, right? The 3 bullet point argument that you would make for Fred Taylor to be in the Hall of Fame. I just gave you the one for Jari Evans, right? Like that's the bullet point argument for Evans. This is why he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Right. A member of the All-Decade team, won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Now, you could break it down further, how the Saints did, in pass protection and rushing and all that stuff, but we're not here to make the case for Jari Evans today. We're here to make the case for Fred Taylor today, in part, among other things. So if you want to be a part of that aspect of it, you can hit us up on social media and do it that way, or you can call the program at 641-1010 on the All-Pro Roofing phone lines, or do it on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Give us your best 3 bullet point arguments for making the case for Fred Taylor to be inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In other words, if you say, X amount of rushing yards, over 11,000 rushing yards, boom, that's a bullet point, right? That's it right there. Always, for me, most rushing yards of anyone who's eligible for the Hall of Fame but has not yet been inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? So he's currently 17th on the all-time list. I've got some other ones, but you share yours with us today, or if you just want to share favorite Fred Taylor memories, you're welcome to do that as well on the program, or really anything Jacksonville Jaguar related. Good morning, Coach Pockets. How are we?
Good morning. We're good.
Tell me about Dylan's pop-up store, please.
So we got a fundraiser. It's a double good fundraiser, double good popcorn fundraiser. So all the money that's raised for each person, we keep half the profit. And so you basically, I think you get one box, it's like $12, and then it's like one box of popcorn, 24s for 2 boxes. And we're just trying to raise money for track meet entries because we're trying to go to UF for a track meet, the Bob Hayes, and any equipment that we get will be raised through this fundraiser.
All right. When he said it was a double good fundraiser, I just thought he was excited about it. Like this fundraiser. Is it good? No, it's double good. Yeah. This fundraiser. That seems like a pretty good scam for the popcorn company, right? Am I wrong about this? Like Pockets, I'd be happy to donate, and I will donate to you.
I appreciate it.
Right? I don't need the popcorn. I don't need half the money going to the popcorn company, quite frankly. Right?
You can write me a check.
Well, can I give you straight cash, homie?
You could.
If I give you straight cash, homie, I can trust Coach Pockets will not slide it into his pocket.
Yeah, I won't put it in my back pocket. No. I won't do that.
Okay, excellent. All right, I'll make you a donation, brother. But if anybody wants some of that double good popcorn, go get you some. Go check out at 1010XL Denmark on Twitter for his tweet. It's one of the top ones in his feed. And
it's also on Facebook for my boomers, too, if you need it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did that the other day. I told you. I think I mentioned that to you. I saw it pop up sitting on my computer at home, and in the bottom corner, someone has sent you a Facebook request. I don't have Facebook open. I guess I'm logged in on the computer, right? So it pops up the notification. So I just click on it, see who this person is, and I'm like, oh, man, I got a lot of Facebook friend requests in here. People think I'm really rude. I just don't go on Facebook. And a lot of them, Tony, for like a year and a half ago. I guess they don't expire.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, I went through and gave some random people like, yeah, sure, I'll be your friend. I don't care. I'm never here anyway. So what difference does it make to me? So I am that boomer guy, I guess, because I still have Facebook, but I never, ever go on Facebook.
I love my boomers. Don't get it confused.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm a boomer, though. I'm Gen X, I think.
I believe you are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm Gen X. I'm not a boomer. So anyway, didn't come out of that World War II baby boom.
No. Also got some big news coming up. We got Chad Ryder at 10:40.
Oh, we do have Chad Ryder coming up today. All right, from NFL.com, we'll talk draft. Chad is the master of the 7-round mock. My man likes to go deep, which means he knows a lot about a lot of prospects, and we'll talk to him about some of the areas of concern. Like, hey, if the Jags want to go with a corner, with interior offensive line, with wide receiver in this draft, what's the best way to do it where you're going to get impact players at every position based on what's available out there? So that's good. We like Chad Ryder. He'll join us coming up here in less than 30 minutes. Go check out Dylan's pop-up store. Again, you can find the link at 1010XL Denmark. Give us your response. It's not a vote per se, but give us your response to the question of the day today. Maybe we'll come back and give you our bullet point arguments for Freddie T on the other side here. There are plenty of them, but you got to narrow it down to 3 if you can. Because as you said, Tony, I heard you talking to guys on the drill, on the crossover this morning, that you went back and you watched a lot of these pitch sessions, like inside the room.
Yep.
where like Sam Kavaris has been doing this for whomever gets this far for Jacksonville, and usually it's only been Tony Pacelli, but for years Sam's been the guy. He's the guy who's also presenting for Fred Taylor.
Yeah.
You don't get a whole lot of time to make your case.
You're not making a stump speech. You're presenting a series of facts or pieces of information about the player, and then you get about a minute.
Okay. You know what? If you want to call in today and make a stump speech, go beyond, we'll give you 30 seconds to do it. I bet we can do our own in 30 seconds as well. I got my bullet points. I'm ready to go. Let's hype up Freddie T a little bit today, send him some positive vibes. Whether he gets in or not, he's certainly Hall of Fame worthy, and I don't doubt that Fred Taylor is a future Hall of Famer. How soon that will come, time will tell on that front. 641-1010 on the All-Pro Roofing phone lines. Same number for the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. If you want to hit us up on social media, at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Hold my pocket.
There we go. Good to hold my pockets. I'm going to hold a nice donation in your pocket here, coming up pockets for the track team. What is the goal, by the way? Is there a set goal that you're trying to raise?
No, each track meet we go to that we don't host is like $200 for the team, so we're trying to go to like 7 or 8 track meets. So if you add that up, it's like $1,400, $1,500, $1,600.
So $2,000 would cover your travel expenses this year.
Yes.
I'm not throwing $2,000 in your pocket. I don't roll like that. But hopefully we can help you raise some money for the Baldwin track and field team. Good cause. Keep those kids out of the streets, Tony. Keep them on the track and keep them on the straight and narrow. All right, we are rolling today. Sending good vibes to Freddie T. We'll talk draft with Chad Ryder from NFL.com a little bit later on in the hour and take your calls and comments and conversation right here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Underdog Fantasy. Look, you haven't signed up yet. There's still time. You're not going to get a better deal than right now at Underdog with a new customer special. For anyone who signs up this week at Underdog Fantasy, you play Patrick Mahomes over 1/2 total yard in the big game on Sunday. That's right, 1/2 total yard. It's a given. Just sign up, use promo code 1010XL, and if Mahomes passes for a single yard in the game, you could be a big winner. And that's not all. If you missed it, Underdog is doing $1 million in giveaways and or Underdog credit on Super Bowl Sunday as well. All you need is a verified Underdog account to be eligible, and money will be given out throughout the day. So all you need is an account. You might not even have to put anything on the line, and you could be a winner on Sunday. So sign up using promo code 1010XL, and with your valid Underdog account, you'll literally have a chance to win your share of $1 million this Sunday. Don't forget that promo code 1010XL. You have to be 18 or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Jaguars Today.
From the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
JOI, where the pros go.
And now details on the sudden announcement that has captured the attention of the entire world and the most fabulous prize one could wish for. A lifetime supply of
1010XL.
If you have had problems selling your home or haven't even bothered selling because of the problems that you would expect, here's a promise for you. Chad and Sandy of chadandsandy.com guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Simple as that, right? So if maybe you are worried about selling for less money, or maybe you want maximum equity from your home but not sure how, they have the answers, the solutions, the promises to take care of all that. Take it from Debbie in Orange Park. I was going through a divorce and needed to be close to family quickly. I was going to sell my home to an instant offer investor for $375, but I heard about Chad and Sandy on the radio and decided to call. Thank goodness. Chad and Sandy got me $45,000 more in just 3 days. Call the only agents we're trusting and recommending. Call Chad and Sandy at chadandsandy.com. The number is 904-414-6200, or you can go to chadandsandy.com. That's chadandsandy.com.
Get ready for an extraordinary weekend at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. It's the inaugural Jacksonville College Baseball Classic, February 23rd to the 25th. It's Division I baseball at its best. Witness intense competition as Auburn, University of Iowa, University of Virginia, and Wichita State battle it out in a round-robin tournament format. It's a weekend of baseball you won't want to miss. To get your tickets and more information, visit jaxcbc.com.
Score big with the big game specials at Southern Steer Butcher. We're running sales on marinated steak tips and chicken, sausage, and the best buffalo dip you've ever had.
For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
SouthernSteerButcher.com.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
For the first time ever, the biggest game of the year happens in the state of Nevada. 1010XL's coverage is brought to you by Window World of Northeast Florida. Simply the best for less.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O. If you want high quality H2O in your home, call your local water boy, Keith, at Kenai Water Jacksonville. That's KENAI Water Jacksonville.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. When getting pens with your company's logo on them, get nice pens. No one wants to steal a pen that doesn't work. Check them out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
I-9 Sports. Kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. Right now, winter and spring registration is open, so make sure you find out what I-9 Sports offers in your area. Duval, Clay, and St. John's. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Attention veterans, if you have a VA loan, you need to listen to this, especially if your current rate is higher than 6.5%. Now is the time to take advantage of the federal government's VA Streamlined Refinance Program. With my friends at Loan Pronto, you can. Go to loanpronto.com. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto has fixed rate APRs in the 5s. You can drop your rate now. Lower your payment with no income documentation and no appraisal. Do it at loanpronto.com. Their all-digital platform makes it easy. They can even cover your closing costs. If you need cash now, Loan Pronto can get you up to 100% of your home value. You can pay off all your credit cards or other debt and save as much as $1,000 a month. Call Loan Pronto now at 904-999-1508 or get a 30-second rate quote at loanpronto.com. Ask about streamlined VA loans, no income doc, and no appraisal. Loan Pronto, 999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Takes the snap, toss, sweep left. There goes Fred Taylor. He's across the 50, coming back, breaking tackles, 45. There goes Taylor, 40. He's free at the 30. He's at the 20. Fred Taylor, 10, 5, touchdown, Jacksonville. 52 yards, and Fred Taylor makes a statement.
Freddie made a lot of statements. That was an early statement in his career, Tony. We've heard his former teammates talk about that moment like, yeah, we'd seen it. We'd seen it in practice. Mm-hmm. We'd seen it a little bit. Fred Taylor was, very, not quite as bad for Bijan Robinson, but Bijan went in the top 10 this year, and you expected, they're going to start force-feeding him 20 carries right from the jump, and they never really did, right? They kind of split the work with Tyler Algier. Well, Fred, in his very first game in 98, had 1 carry for 2 yards. He had 6, averaged over 7 yards a carry. In his second game, and then James Stewart goes down with what would turn out to be a torn ACL, and they pop Fred in there, and pop was the right word as he goes for 52 yards, one of his many long touchdown runs in that game. Jags would go on that day to win over Baltimore 24-10. Fell behind after opening it up 7-0, fell behind 10-7. Late in the second, Jermaine Lewis had a 56-yard touchdown from Eric Zier, and then Mike Hollis tied it up at 10. Third quarter, Jimmy Smith, 72 yards from Burnell, and the Sofa caught a 1-yarder right there. And that's the story of Fred's career right there. 52-yard touchdown, and somebody else getting the goal line opportunity. Right? That's Fred Taylor's career bookended in one game right there.
And I get the aggravation of going to his Pro Football Reference page again today, and it doesn't matter how many times I've encouraged people to write about it. I've written about it. get that horrid nickname off the page.
Oh, the Fragile Fred thing. It's so stupid.
It's such a disservice to
really,
a player that is a Hall of Fame worthy player, and y'all have that stupidity on his page.
Right, like he's a schmuck or somebody. Like, there are guys out there who, look, everyone bears repeating, right, just in case you think I don't understand my place in the pecking order. They're all much greater than me, okay? But on a relative scale, there are NFL schmucks, right?
Yeah.
There are NFL bums and bozos, and not this guy, man.
No.
Not this guy. Freddie T, just amazing story. This amazing guy. He's fantastic. And again, I don't know. I don't have that gut feeling he's getting in tonight. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know.
I'm with you. I hope so. But
there's just been no kind of buzz. I think the buzz had been strong for Baselli. In fact, I think we were surprised even the year before Tony got in that he didn't get in that year because the buzz was so strong amongst the people we were talking to. And you always wonder about that too. If you're a Hall of Fame voter and you're going on in a market where they've got a guy up there, I support so-and-so for the Hall of Fame. Because you don't know how they're voting on all these players. I don't know. I'm just going to presume that people tend to tell you the truth on that. And you can tell sometimes people are like, I don't know. I think he's Hall of Fame worthy, but there's a big log jam. Well, that person's probably not getting their vote that year, and that's fine. You can only vote for 5 of the finalists. I understand that.
Yeah.
And we just and there's plenty of room for Freddie T on this particular ballot, in my opinion. I do like the fact that it's not split up with other running backs.
Yeah.
So
he's got one more year of that to his advantage at least before Frank Gore comes into it. And
right.
Adrian Peterson the year after that.
AP will be a first ballot guy, I believe, because of, the explosiveness, the 2,000-yard rushing season. I get it. Frank Gore had 16,000 yards. It's a ton. But he played until he was 38, and that's a credit to him for doing it. Again, I just don't think of Frank Gore as a better player. At the peak Frank Gore was good. I think peak Fred Taylor was better. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
All right, so Pockets, if you could, why don't we fire up today's 10-10 take, and we'll get to our bullet point arguments for Freddie T.
10-10 take. Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take, brought to you by Leonard Truck Accessories.
All right, let me open up my email, Tony, because I put these in here to make sure I put them exactly the way I felt. But 3 bullet points for Fred to get in. It's not a tough argument to me, but this is what I would go with if I were going with it. Pockets, do we want to put me on the clock here? 30. I won't need 30 seconds. I guarantee I won't need 30 seconds. What does this countdown sound like? Go ahead and start it. I'll jump in at any time. Oh, so it's ticking away. My 30 seconds are ticking away now?
I'll restart it.
Fred, no. You're all right.
Here we go.
I was ready.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Fred Taylor has more rushing yards than any Hall of Fame eligible player that is not already in the Hall. He's going in. He's deserving of going in. Why not now? Because that won't always be the case. There will be a Frank Gore on the ballot eventually. 4.6 yards per carry. Only a handful of rushers with over 10,000 yards have a higher average yards per carry than Fred Taylor has in his career. Guys like Jim Brown and Barry Sanders. And speaking of Jim Brown, he often called Fred Taylor the best running back in football during Fred's playing days. And if that endorsement isn't enough, I don't know what is. I didn't need the little extra half of the sentence. I was stretching it out to try to get to 30. Right there. So more rushing yards than any Hall of Fame eligible player, 4.6 yards a pop, and Jim Brown often called him the best running back in football. That's my first 3 bullet points, but that's what I'm going to limit myself to. Tony may repeat me. I don't know. Let's put Tony on the clock. You ready to roll?
Yeah.
All right, hit it.
Fred Taylor's 11,695 yards, ranks 17th on the all-time rushing list, and is the most yards rushing by a player that is currently eligible to be voted into the Hall of Fame. Among players with at least 2,500 rushing attempts, Fred Taylor's 4.6 yards per carry ranks 4th all-time in that category, trailing only Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, and Adrian Peterson. Speaking of Jim Brown, he called him one of the greatest running backs that he has ever seen.
Are you and I sharing the brain cell today? I mean, You probably presented it better. I think we had the same 3 bullet points, basically, though, right? The yardage, the yards per carry, and really, as somebody said when we asked today, the question of the day, send us your 3 bullet points. Number 1 was watch. Number 2 was and number 3 was games. Yeah. Watch the games, right?
I found some other quotes from players, that I thought, like Troy Polamalu said, Fred Taylor is probably the best back I've seen in the NFL. Ray Lewis said Fred is one of the best I've ever seen in my life. And to stress where he stood against maybe the guys that he was playing with, like other running backs at the time, Lofoot Tupu, the linebacker, said, I've played against Tomlinson, I've played against Gore, I've played against Steven Jackson, and I'm telling you, Fred Taylor is the best running back in the league.
There you go. It's the combination of size and speed that was rare, right? Mm-hmm. There are plenty of guys as fast as Fred. There are plenty of guys as powerful as Fred. There were very few guys that were both.
Yeah.
That could match him in those categories.
And it's like just a dart kind of thing I would throw for Fred. Fred's 90-yard touchdown run against the Miami Dolphins is still the longest touchdown run in NFL postseason history.
Oh, I think we might will we hear that highlight again today at some point, Pockets? That's a possibility, I have a feeling.
What's that?
The 90-yarder.
The 90.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That's always in the
Pockets is in there dreaming of double good popcorn at the moment. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Let's get Travis. Travis is in Palm Beach. I think he wants to be put on the clock this morning. Good morning, Travis.
What's going on, fellas? Love the show.
Thank you, buddy.
I only need 30 seconds.
You all right? You want? We'll give you the TikTok anyway, just to make it official. But
all right.
You just want to make your case for Freddie T for the Hall of Fame, right?
That's it. And
all
you
right.
guys just set me up. Hey,
all right, hold on. Let's count you in. Or if you're ready, are you ready to go, or did you want to make another comment about something?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1.
Brock Marion still chasing. Thanks, fellas.
There you go. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I knew we'd hear that highlight again. He is still chasing him. Excellent job, Travis. And that's one of the great highlight calls of all time.
That was my license plate when we had the competition for come up with the license plate was still chasing.
That's right. It was so good, right? That really was good. Still chasing in terms of, what was that for Jaguar Vanity Plate, right? What would you
So you get the 6 or 7 letters you can use.
Yes.
And I did the STLCSG.
Yeah, still chasing.
Yeah, still chasing.
For us, we've heard that highlight so many times. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. It's just one of the iconic calls associated with Jaguar football of all time. I mean, Freddie was, I would say he's completely unique, but he was in a small class of guys that could do what he was capable of doing. I'm not saying he's the greatest running back of all time. He's not. I am saying he's the greatest in franchise history.
Easily.
With no apologies to Mojo. Yeah. I mean, Mojo would tell you that's the case. Mojo was a great player. Freddie T was the best that this franchise has seen to this point in time.
And they may never have another running back as good as Fred Taylor.
How many guys? Look, 17 guys in the history of the league, including Fred, have as many rushing yards as he's had. So
it's hard to imagine they'll have a running back as good as Fred, a left tackle as good as Tony, or a wide receiver as good as Jimmy. Like, maybe ever again in franchise history. Those guys are all Hall of Fame players.
Truly Hall of Fame caliber players. Like, Tony, I think if he has a moderately healthy career, plays another 7 seasons, something like that, right? I mean, which offensive tackles often did, Tony would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a no-doubter. Like, it would have been more frequently talked about, I think, as a candidate for the best tackle in football history, truly. And we have highlighted that. And I know you brought this up with Dan and Jeff again this morning, Tone, when we talked to John Hannah. It's the only time we ever interviewed John Hannah.
Yeah.
Right? John Hannah played in the 80s for the Patriots, renowned by many as one of the best guards, if not the best guard that ever played football. And he said Tony was the best left tackle that he had ever seen. Munoz always said the same thing.
Yep.
And now with Munoz, we took it with a grain of salt because they were both Southern Cal guys. And Munoz wasn't going to hype himself up in that category because most people tell you Anthony Munoz was the best at the position. But Tony might have gotten legitimately in that conversation had his career played out. But, hey, you know what? He ended up where he belongs in Canton, Ohio. Hopefully Freddie T will join him shortly. Joining us shortly, Chad Ryder from NFL.com. In fact, shortly, meaning right after the break, we'll talk draft, particularly with the Jags. How deep is this year's draft for particular needs for Jacksonville, and who are some of the names we should have our eye on, at least in the first round at pick 17? And maybe there's a guy or two that Chad likes a little bit more than some others out there that we haven't been discussing that we should have under consideration, whether that's in the first round or later in the draft. We'll talk NFL draft Jaguar style coming up next. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You don't have to fear the big game this Sunday and all the spreads and all the goodies that you're going to eat. Yeah, you got to have a little common sense and do things sensibly, but Awaken 180 always has a plan, whether it's big game Sunday or any holiday or any family get-together or feast. Look, they understand. Real life happens, and you're not going to go on some kind of starvation diet. That's not what Awaken 180 is all about. It's about changing the way you look at what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, and getting that momentum of when the weight starts coming off. You're not going to want to stop until you hit that goal weight, and then you get that free support for life from Awaken 180. I've had that support back since the end of September, been able to keep off those 25.5 pounds that I dropped in that month. So that's the longest string of success I've ever had keeping that weight off. You want to do it yourself? 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 for Awaken 180 Weight Loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM. 1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
Used to pull your punches.
It was scene-stealing hack, thank you.
Raving egomaniac.
I don't think we're gonna go that far.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Where's my limo?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Jeff Prosser here. Need that garage floor redone? Pool deck? Patio? Well, I did my homework and found out there's only one company offering a lifetime warranty, Jack's Concrete Coating. How do they do it? They're the certified Pintech dealer for North Florida, so they are the only company offering pure polyurea. Trust me, I can speak firsthand to their work, and it is awesome. Go to jacksconcretecoatings.com or call 904-862-2000.
Make someone's heart pop on Valentine's Day. Show your love with a bouquet of chocolate roses, chocolate-covered popcorn, or a box of decadent truffles. Peterbrook is taking pre-orders for chocolate-covered strawberries. So get your order in and get those hearts popping.
When it rains, it better drain. If storm drains on your commercial property aren't doing their job, this is a major liability that needs to be corrected. Call Duck Rooter to have your storm drains jetted and cleaned with our powerful vac con truck. We'll clear the way for better drainage. Call 904-862-6769. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jags. Duck Rooter, your fully insured certified plumbing and underground utility contractor.
Valentine's Day may not be in your wheelhouse, so 1010XL brings you gift ideas from
Peterbrook Chocolatier,
Beard's Diamonds,
and Spencer's Designer Florist.
Find everything you need to know at 1010XL.com.
Dave Binion here with my son Ammon, who is the air duct cleaning manager at Zero Res. So Ammon, you may notice a little rattle in my voice and some puffiness in my eyes. That's because allergy season is coming on. Can Zero Res help?
Yes, your health has a lot to do with the air you breathe. A clean and healthy home begins with clean air. At Zero Res, we can help clean the air in your home by cleaning your air ducts, cleaning the coils in your HVAC units, and fogging the system with a powerful antimicrobial that helps kill and control the growth of microorganisms in your air. We also have options for maintaining your clean air with our excellent inline air purifier and UV lights that will help keep your system clean and healthy. At Zero Res, we are more than just air duct cleaners. We're a clean air specialist.
So, what deals do you have this month?
Right now, get $100 off your air duct cleaning, and while we're at it, we'll give you $50 off your dryer vent cleaning.
Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
The Bulls are back in town and taking over Jacksonville. Get ready for bull bucking mayhem at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 23rd and 24th. U.S. Border Patrol PBR Jacksonville is bringing the city 2 nights of bull riding action, featuring the most electric 8 seconds in sports. Come see the toughest sport on dirt at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 23rd and 24th. Get your tickets today at PBR.com or Ticketmaster.
Frank Franzi here for Stanley Pools. There's a reason so many of my friends and our listeners have had Stanley Pools build their pools and now maintain their pools because Stanley Pools truly cares about their customers. Stanley Pools is locally owned and has been serving our community for 35 years. For all of your pool needs, call Stanley Pools at 269-7277. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools. 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Hey, Scarline here. Tired of missing out on the conversation due to hearing loss? At Jacksonville Hearing and Balance, their team of audiologists led by Dr. Douglas Green can help you rediscover the joy of connection. Visit jhbi.org today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line.
Draw play. Taylor skips 2 tackles. All right, and here we go. Yeah. Bye-bye. Brock Marion chasing. Brock Marion still chasing. Gets help from Smith. Touchdown. No flags. A 90-yard run.
Told you we might hear that at some point. Coming up, there you go. Freddie T sending good vibes your way. Tonight we'll find out if he makes the Pro Football Hall of Fame as the second Jaguar ever to be slated for induction. That, of course, from the Jags 62-7 beatdown of the Miami Dolphins in the 99 playoffs, which sent Dan Marino and Jimmy Johnson packing from the National Football League. Never to return to a sideline again.
Yep.
All right. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith here with you. And despite the fact that we miscommunicated on Central versus Eastern time, Chad Reiter of NFL.com joining us here on Jaguars Today this morning on 1010XL because he's a good man like that. Chad, good morning. How are you, bud?
Yeah, I'm doing well. You know, time is relative, as Einstein said, so whatever. I'm here. Let's talk draft.
You're here. Your knowledge is intact. It is time to talk a little bit of draft. Let's just jump in on a few different positions here because we've been hearing that, your cohort Daniel Jeremiah says this, many others have, that if you need offensive line help, we particularly need it on the interior, might need a couple of guards and a center, not all through the draft, but how good of a draft is this for offensive line in general, but particularly for that interior 3?
Yeah, it is good. Jaguars will be able to pick somebody up. They don't even need to use like a first or second round pick on the interior. They can wait a little bit, try to pick up value at other positions, and still get a starter kind of in the middle of the draft. So it's a bonus for them. But to be honest with you, in my 3-round mock draft that's coming up after the Super Bowl, I have the Jaguars taking tackle Javon Foster in the second round. And I think the reason why I'm doing that is because I can't imagine this team sticking with Cam Robinson another year. I mean, maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll redo his contract. But I would pay attention to that and then watch that situation closely and see if they decide to build, get to the outside first and then get a couple of interior guys a little bit later in the draft.
Definitely a scenario that we've kicked around here, what you're talking about here, because they can save $16 million against the cap if they go that route and maybe apply some of that to try to re-sign, say, Ezra Cleveland at left guard. That would fix one of those spots, right? And then you draft. Are you presuming that you're drafting a right tackle and moving Anton Harrison to the left side, or are you looking at the Jags maybe leaving Anton Harrison where he played as a rookie and then trying to install a rookie left tackle?
Well, a guy like Javon Foster can play either side. So I think if you can find a guy like that that's got that versatility, then you can work it out during training camp where the guy's best position would be. But I think I might leave Harrison on the right side and see what you can find in the left. You don't know what the puzzle looks like until you get all the pieces in place. So you find the best player you can and then make it work from there.
How big do you think the gap will be between a corner the Jags could get at 17 in this draft and a corner they could get in the middle of the second round?
I think it would be, to be honest with you, I'm not sure there's going to be a corner available by the time they pick that's of value at either of those spots. I think that's why you might see them go more receiver and offensive line, maybe tackle early in the draft, and they might have to wait a little bit. But, just depending on, look, there's going to be trades for some of these corners too. Teams are going to try to move up if let's just say they like a Nate Wiggins from Clemson or Quinion Mitchell from Toledo maybe in the end of the first round. That's who I guess they would be looking at if they were to take a corner in the first. So, and then in the second round, again, there might be other value at other positions. The guy that people aren't necessarily talking about right now is Cam Hart from Notre Dame as a potential pick in the second round. He's got the length and the speed and all that stuff that teams are looking for. He's going to be a surprise guy that's going to end up in that middle of the second round. So that's a name to watch for, maybe, for them in the second.
What about the Alabama teammates, Terry and Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry? I think Kool-Aid, because of the name, had a little bit higher profile among the casual fan, but it seems like Terry and Arnold's the preferred NFL prospect by many, but both of them are seen as first-round picks. Are they middle of the first-round values if either one was there?
Well, I think Arnold is definitely middle of the first-round value. He's probably going to be gone by the time the Jaguars pick. And McKinstry is probably mid to late second-round pick, is my guess.
Mid to late second?
Yeah, unless he blows up at the combine and all that stuff, because you have to allow for that. But my guess is that he's a good player, and some of these guys, like Trevon Diggs, for example, out of Alabama, was a late second-round pick. Even though he was a good player in college, and he's turned out to be pretty good in the pros.
Yeah.
Consistent, but be pretty good. So that's kind of where I'm seeing him right now. But again, McKinstry goes out there and runs a 4.3, and teams like him a little bit. Maybe he does get pushed up into that first-round conversation.
You see different players as the top corner depending on what list you're looking at. I've seen Arnold there. I've seen Mitchell there. I've seen DeJean there. I've seen Wiggins there at times. Who, in your mind, is the top corner in this class?
Oh, I think it's Arnold. It's funny because unlike McKinstry, he was often lined up in the slot, Arnold was, and he wasn't always out against the top receiver for the other team. And I think once teams kind of project him into that role, they'll see that he's probably the top guy. Wiggins is a fantastic corner. I think he's just in that next tier, as is Mitchell. And I think Mitchell is definitely getting a positive boost from the Senior Bowl, but you don't want to overthink those kind of performances, because you have to still look at their whole body of work. And he's a very good player at Toledo, don't get me wrong, but I'm hesitant to push a guy as the number one corner because of what happens at Mobile. I want to see him in person, moving, on the field at the combine, and see what his overall movement skill set can be before I would, make that kind of jump up.
Talking here with Chad Ryder from NFL.com on the NFL Draft Chat. I know we started with O-line. We moved to corner, but I want to go back to one guy specifically, the center, Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. Okay? When I first, we try, in years past, because you've come on with us over the years, there have been years when we start calling you in October, right? It's not going well, right? And, recently, Tony and I have been trying to avoid any draft talk until the Jags are eliminated, and they've been more competitive. So it's taken us longer to kind of get into some of the rankings. And the first time I looked at a ranking this offseason, it had Jackson Powers Johnson ranked something like 48th overall, okay? I see him now in the last third of the first round in a lot of mock projections. Is he a reach if you were to take him in the middle of the first round? What is the range that you think it's reasonable to consider taking the first center off the board this year?
Well, again, a little preview of my upcoming mock draft for you guys.
Like it.
I actually have a team, I don't want to spoil it, but a team moving ahead of Jacksonville to the 16th spot to get Jackson Powers Johnson in the middle of the first round.
All right.
I would be very interested to see how he performs athletically, again, at the combine, but you watch his film, and he's not like a slim dude at 320 pounds.
Right.
But he's blocking 20 yards downfield, and you don't see that a lot of guys from that side. So as of now, I project him being the top center and a team moving ahead of the Jaguars. And then the other guy to consider is Graham Barton from Duke, because he will probably kick back inside the center where he started his career at Duke. And he's might be in that conversation, but he's coming off an injury. He might end up being a second-round guy, so if they're maybe thinking second round. So that's kind of where I see. But I think Jackson Powers-Johnson's legit as a mid-first-round pick.
Okay, so how many plug-and-play centers? Like, if the Jags were to draft a center with an eye of him coming in to compete right away for that starting spot, is that the list, or are there others that might rise to that level?
You know, it's funny. Like, is the team ready to just give up on Luke Fortner?
I don't know if they are, but the fan base is.
I understand that. But, you know, just consider that guys take time, you know, in the league to look. So I'm not sure that they'll go that early. Maybe they will. But just, you know, might want to rethink that a little bit and think about what that guy could be in the next year or two. But, however, I would say that they could find, again, Graham Barton in the second round if they want to look for him. In the third, there's some potential with Cedric Van Pran stepping in and becoming that guy as a third-round pick. But again, Fortner, I thought, would be a good NFL center in the third round. So once you even talk about third-round guys, there's some question there, and there's no guarantee. So I don't know that there's a lot of plug-and-play guys other than Powers-Johnson and then maybe Graham Barton if he's healthy.
Gotcha.
A lot of fans here in the area have had a chance to watch Keon Coleman up close here for the last couple of years there with Florida State. What would be the arguments for and against Coleman at 17 to the Jags?
Well, I think let's just, you know, not spoilers, but let's just say I think Brian Thomas is available at 17 for the Jags. I think he would be a really good fit for them. They really need, and Keon Coleman's fine if they like him too. He's an explosive guy, and I think they really need that, you know, if Ridley doesn't return. And so I think those would be the two guys they'd be looking at 17. And I think a guy like Thomas presents a little more, you know, power downfield, strength downfield as a receiver, and I think he would be the kind of guy that they could use to really challenge, really get Lawrence to be able to stretch the field a little bit. And then if Kirk comes back healthy, you can work with them. You'll probably pick up somebody else to kind of work underneath as well. So I think I like Thomas. I think Coleman would be fine. I think he's not quite as consistent as Thomas, but I think Thomas would be the really good find there in the middle of the first round.
We're talking here with Chad Ryder of NFL.com, one of our key draft analysts that we like to invite on the program at this time of year. Chad, how good is the overall depth at the position? You know, we can only address one or two things early, right? You're going to have to try to spend some picks on these other spots a little bit later. So is there decent depth at wide receiver?
Yeah, it's fair to middling, as people in the Midwest like to say. No, there's plenty of guys, third-round guys that they could get. A guy like, well, a lot of people are talking about a guy like North Carolina's Devontae Walker as a first round. I'm not sure that that's true. He's probably second or third round kind of guy. But at that point in the draft, you know, he'd be a good value. Roman Wilson from Michigan's a very good third round guy as well. There's plenty of opportunity for them to pick up a guy in the third or fourth round if they decide to go at other positions. It's going to be interesting too. Jacksonville's in a decent spot for trading down in the first round this year. There'll certainly be conversations about that, and I think if they get those kind of phone calls, they certainly, you know, pay attention to it.
What would teams be looking to trade up to Jacksonville's spot to be interested in?
Well, Powers-Johnson, for example, if they really need that center in this draft, you've got a bunch of, like, honestly, J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle from Alabama.
Yeah.
If teams are interested in him. You know, Wiggins could be like one of those corners that teams are interested for. Johnny Newton from Illinois, the defensive tackle, is an interesting case because a lot of people are sort of down on him for whatever reason right now, but probably because he didn't go to the Senior Bowl and didn't put up the performance that people would be talking about him. But he's a guy that I think could go a little higher than people think because he's really a fantastic weapon. His get-off is amazing. He's a hustling guy. Like, he went out versus Wisconsin. The Illinois defense crumbled, and the Badgers came back and won. So, which made me happy as a Wisconsin guy. But, like, you could see his immediate impact on the field. So, he's another guy that teams might have a little more interested in than you think.
Well, speaking of those D linemen, which Newton is, right? That's another position that, look, the Jags have a lot of needs here, but interior defensive line, defensive tackle, whether it be run stuffers or penetrators or a combination of the two, what is this crop looking like this year?
There's a mix of a little bit of everything. I wouldn't say it's a strong class overall, but look, you can find a run stuffer if it would be interesting if a guy like Tavondre Sweat from Texas ends up falling into that middle of the second round, and people look at him more like Austin Johnson, for example, coming out of Penn State, than like Jordan Davis. If that's the case, then Jacksonville could be in a pretty good spot to pick up a dude like that, and he might be 400 pounds right now. He didn't weigh himself at the Senior Bowl because he's probably tipping 400, but he moves extremely well for his size, and he may end up being a real bargain for somebody. So you got guys like that. You got guys throughout the third round that could be fantastic bargains for them as well. And in the fourth, like Mason Smith, for example, from LSU, not the most productive guy, but he's 6'6", 315. He moves pretty well for his size. He's not going to rack up 10 sacks or anything, but he's the kind of guy that you can plug in the middle of your defense. Is going to be a problem for interior linemen to handle.
A lot of talk coming out of the Senior Bowl that Latu, the edge player coming out of UCLA, is the most pro-ready edge player in this draft. Do you agree with that?
I mean, he's maybe the steadiest, and he's got a lot of tools that you want. But the issue that I might see for him is that he had to leave the University of Washington with a neck injury. Team doctors wouldn't clear him to play. And he went down to UCLA. They got doctors there to sign off on him. And I'm going to be real curious to see what his medical reports out of the combine are going to say. And he might be one of those guys that has like a top 12 value as a player, but ends up in the later part of the first round because of the medical concerns. And we'll see what his overall athleticism turns out to be too. So, but I think he's a steady player. I think he's going to be a good player. I just think those are the kind of concerns that might drop a guy a little bit. But look, like that happens pretty much every year with an edge rusher, from Greg Rousseau. George Karlaftis should have been drafted higher than he was. So Latu might be that guy this year, but I expect he'll be a very good, very productive NFL player.
All right, last one here, and it's not Jaguar related, Chad. If you're in charge of the Bears, is there any way you're moving out of that pick? I mean, how strongly do you feel about Caleb Williams, or do you think it's more prudent this year to move back a spot or two, target another quarterback, and get a haul of draft picks for your troubles?
No, I think you picked Caleb Williams. I don't really think there's any question about that this year. And I think I like what I saw from Justin Fields this year, and I think they move on him. Part of it is money. If you can get a guy like Caleb Williams, who is very likely to be just as good as Fields, maybe not week one, but by the end of his rookie year. And so you get 4 years on a rookie contract on him, as opposed to one last year on Fields when he picks up in that fifth-year option. I think you trade Fields. I project a trade like that in my mock draft. And you pick Caleb Williams and you move forward. And you are very happy to do so.
I'm ready for your mock draft, man, by the way. I like trades in my mock draft. So how many? What are you doing, 4 rounds next week? What's the –
I got 3 rounds.
3 rounds.
And 5 or 6 trades. So
all right.
It'll be very, very – I hope people enjoy it, and it's fun to put together.
Bro, we always enjoy them, and we enjoy you coming on to discuss them and many various ways the Jags might approach improving their roster. So, as always, we appreciate your time. We invite folks to give you a follow on X at Chad_Reiter. That's REUTER, just like it sounds. Chad, all the best, man. We'll be calling you a bunch between now and late April, so thanks for kicking off draft season with us.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Chad Reiter, NFL.com. It's interesting. Even if the Jags are not in the Jackson Powers Johnson conversation, Tony, the trade up that he projects would indicate someone might think that's a possibility, right, to get into that range at 16. And, it sounds like Chad might be on the I wouldn't say the bulky plan. I don't want to paint Chad with that brush, but, he, like Fortner, thought he'd develop into a good NFL center. can the Jags afford to wait around if they've got the opportunity to draft what's clearly the best one in the class? I know some people would take him. Others would maybe go for the guy from Duke or someone later. Again, you can only fill one spot, and we are doing this now. I imagine when Chad's projection comes out, he's probably going to project the Jags with their first, second, and third round picks, right? Because we don't know.
Yeah, you don't know which is going.
Right.
Yeah.
One of those is going to Atlanta. And hopefully the Jags then will pick up a compensatory third and maybe about 20 picks later for losing Jawan Taylor last year, if it in fact is the third that goes, and I think that's the most likely scenario. But so many of these things, and I get it too. Like if you're talking about wide receiver, if you re-sign Ridley, what kind of re-signing are we talking about? Is it a 4-year deal? Is it a short-term deal? Is it like a 2-3-year deal where
it's really two?
Where it's really two because the way it's structured, and then maybe there's a little bit more urgency because Christian Kirk's not going to be on that deal forever. You're going to have to redo him again or extend that out. And but if you do sign Ridley and you feel like he's going to be here for another 3 years, then the need becomes somewhat lessened, and maybe you do take a shot in the, with that compensatory pick at the end of round 3. A lot of ways to do it. We're just building the foundation of what the Jags might do in this year's NFL draft. So we appreciate Chad Ryder stopping by from NFL.com. You can always go back and listen to all these. We post them in a variety of ways on the 1010XL replay section on 1010XL.com. You can go to YouTube. They're all out there for you if you ever miss anything. Or wait a minute, he said what exactly? You can go back and listen. You want to make your case for Freddie T for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you're welcome to do that. We've got the other NFL honors being given out tonight. We'll take a look at some of the categories and who we think might win some of those awards, as well as everything has been moved up on the calendar by the National Football League. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Tire Outlet. Is your vehicle in need of a little tender, loving care? Well, if it is, bring it to the experts at Tire Outlet. They've got over 4 decades of experience and 14 locations around the First Coast for your convenience. For the brand you can trust, Tire Outlet has certified technicians to do the job right, to get you in and out in no time flat. So hurry in for great deals, not only on tires, but auto services as well. Free tire rotations, free brake inspections, rebate offers on brand name tires, and a legendary price match guarantee on every brand new set of tires. You get it all at Tire Outlet, where they always offer wholesale prices and premium service.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios. 1010XL is your home for Jacksonville University basketball.
There's no place like home. Historic Swisher Gym, JU Central Arkansas. Tonight at 7 on 1010 AM.
Lower mortgage rates are here, and smart homeowners are wiping out all their credit card debt with help from Loan Pronto. Hey, Prosser here. Right now, Loan Pronto has a cash-out refinance rate of just 5.49%. You heard me. That's a huge drop. So you can get refinanced now, get cash out of your home's equity to wipe out all those credit cards and other high-interest loans. You can save hundreds every month with lower payments. Or, if you still have a mortgage rate in the 3s, you can use Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit. Just get the cash you need and leave your primary mortgage intact. Loan Pronto can get you $50, $75, $100, even $200,000 in just a matter of days. Bottom line, Loan Pronto's got several options to help you erase debt and take control of your finances. Call today, and you can even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. Call Loan Pronto now at 904-999-1508, 904-999-1508, or loanpronto.com, 999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, 5.49%, has 6.39 APR, subject to lender approval.
Lauren Brooks here from Mayport CNC Fisheries. Growing up at the beach, I know good shrimp and oysters when I see them. It's local and it's fresh. That's why Mayport CNC Fisheries is my go-to for both. They have local shrimp in stock daily and fresh boxes of oysters. Eat like a local at Mayport CNC Fisheries.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Pacifico is brewed for those who let go of the things that don't matter.
and hold on to the ones that do. That's living life anchors up.
Pacifico, found in Baja, imported by surfers. Ask for a Pacifico when you're ready to live life anchors up.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. It's getting chilly outside, but you can enjoy the outside inside with a new glass lanai from Lifetime Enclosures, or look ahead and get that backyard ready for spring with a new screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. Give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents
Are You Cool?
Today's lucky contestant, a coffee filter repairman from Jacksonville Beach. Meet Dave Carvelas.
Great to be here, Pat.
No time to chit-chat, Dave. Here's your question. Your AC has been acting up. Do you A, ignore it and hope it gets better on its own? 2, take off all your clothes when you watch TV and hope that does the trick? Or C, call Bueller Air Conditioning?
Oh, jeez. I do like to sit around with no pants on.
5 seconds, Dave.
I'll say C. Call Bueller.
That's right, Dave. A quick call to Bueller will have our expert AC technicians at your door, usually the same day, to make sure that you are cool.
Can I still watch the game with no pants on?
It's America, Dave. Knock yourself out.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision, and equal opportunity employer.
Listen up, all you Ospreys. UNF homecoming is just around the corner. You won't want to miss all the festivities, especially the Birds of Trey, as the UNF men's basketball team plays host to Central Arkansas Saturday, February 10th at UNF Arena, tipping off at 2 o'clock. Show off your Osprey pride and reconnect with your alma mater. That's Saturday, February 10th at 2 p.m. Visit UNFOspreys.com for tickets and more information. UNFOspreys.com. Swoop, swoop, swoop.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Hear the Florida Gators all season on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. Brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. The Gators announced their key additions through the transfer portal on National Signing Day yesterday, including one originally from right here in Jacksonville, Pup Howard. Howard transferred from South Carolina after just 1 year, and Coach Napier spoke on what it meant to get the former 4-star linebacker back to his home state.
It's good to get Pup Howard back. I thought we were really close, like one phone call away, in the beginning. So I think Pup walking around here at 6'4", 240, inside backer, and just the intelligence that he brings, the character, the work ethic. The guy's wired right. He's what you want. We need more of that, right? We got to keep the good players in our state at home, and it's a good win for us to get him back.
It's 61 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville Jaguars Today. on 1010XL.
Showing blitz now. There it comes. Now back to throw. Turns and dumps it. It's Fred all alone. He's at the 30. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. On his feet inside at the 15. There he goes to the 10. Fred's on his feet to the 5. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Where did this guy come from? You can't explain that. You cannot color commentate that. You can't play-by-play that. You can't tell somebody what I just saw. Holy smoke.
All right, I'm going to disagree with that, but because we just heard all those things happen. But that's all right. Freddie Taylor, it's Fred Taylor Day around these parts.
It's hard to describe on a play-by-play, though, that he stopped in full motion twice and made 4 guys miss.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that play is, like, you're watching it happen. It's like, how? How do you do that to professional athletes? Make them look that stupid? Right, but Fred did it several times.
How do you do it at that size?
Right.
I mean, we see small guys do
Holy
that
cow.
and put their foot in the ground and change direction real quick. And you understand, use the guy's momentum against them. But some of the guys coming after Fred were Fred size, and make you look silly. Freddie T, man, plenty of highlights from a spectacular one-day Hall of Fame career. Hopefully that day comes this year. Right? He won't get inducted tonight, but he could get announced as one of the newest Hall of Famers. So we'll be looking out for that. Coming up, Tony will take you around the National Football League, but I wanted to look see if I can – where did I leave my list of NFL honors tonight? What's going on? We've got, obviously, MVP. Most people think it's going to go to Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Tonight, and I don't see any reason to think that it won't go to Lamar Jackson tonight. Purdy and McCaffrey both finalists for the award. I don't think it's I get it, Brock Purdy, I think, is in some ways a product of that system, but he executes it to an extremely high level, and without Brock Purdy, we saw last year 49ers were just as good a team, just as good a roster in the postseason, and couldn't get over the hump, Tone, because they didn't have a quarterback that could put it together for them. So I don't think there's much doubt that Lamar Jackson's going to win this thing tonight.
I think if they reveal the votes, like first-place votes, I imagine he gets a big majority of them.
Most of them,
yeah.
Right. I don't think it'll necessarily be unanimous. Dak Prescott could pull a vote or two.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, this is a regular season award, right? McCaffrey could pull a vote or two.
Sure.
McCaffrey and Purdy probably hurt each other, both being
Certainly
considered
could.
as finalists, on the ballot. I think McCaffrey versus Tyreek Hill is pretty good for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I think if Tyreek gets to 2,000 this year, he is the Offensive Player of the Year.
Maybe, yeah.
I think the full body of work of McCaffrey having about 300 yards more on the ground than any other back out there, I'm not going to be shocked if Hill wins it. In fact, I would have thought most of the season he would win it. I think McCaffrey might pull that off.
The last month was slow,
right?
For Tyreek.
It was.
Yeah.
And that sticks in people's minds. But part of it is, when do the votes go in?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Did they go in after, with the Pro Bowl, they go in before the season's concluded.
Yeah.
Which, it is what
I
it is.
imagine with this kind of thing, you wait till after the year to
I would hope
submit
so.
it. I would hope. But yeah,
I think that gives McCaffrey a better chance
Yeah, I
if
do
that's
think
the case.
CMC takes it home.
You do think he'll get the Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year this year. Your finalists are Deron Bland, who at one point we thought maybe that guy's a shoo-in. I think he set a record for pick sixes this year. But would you even consider him the best corner in football? He had a great year. There's no question about it. T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, the other finalists for this one. I felt like this was kind of a Garrett award. It's one of those sometimes used to happen in the NBA, right? Like, at some point, this guy's got to get an MVP, right? And, maybe it wasn't his best year, but it's, quote, his turn to do it. And I almost felt that is the case with Myles Garrett this season. I could be wrong about that. T.J. Watt did win it in 21 with 22 and a half sacks. Didn't put up quite that total this year. I'm going to say Myles Garrett pulls this one out.
I'd probably lean towards TJ.
Okay.
Again, him being the sack leader in the league, but I think this is one of the few where I do think there's a little suspense about who's actually going to win Defensive Player of the Year. I think the awards we've talked about to this point will go pretty easily in the direction we've thought they would.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, is it C.J. Stroud in a runaway?
Yeah.
I guess it will be because he's a quarterback.
Yeah, Puka had a great year.
Puka was amazing this year, right? I mean, but it is a quarterback, and he did throw 23 touchdowns against only 5 interceptions.
Yes.
And that's a huge thing. I mean, Puka, these other guys, thanks for showing up, right? I mean, Laporta was great.
He was.
He was fantastic. I would probably put Puka second over Laporta. Gibbs and Bijan, they had good rookie seasons, but
yeah. Well, and Puka, as much because early in the year when Cooper wasn't there, right? And this is
that team.
A rookie on the field for the first time, and he was the man. Like from the moment the season started, he was the man for the Rams in that passing game, and he could carry that burden all season long. It was remarkable what Puka Nacua did this year.
But, you know,
CJ still,
Stroud, as a quarterback, took a team that earned the second pick in the draft the year before to the postseason, right? So I just think that's going to be it, and then you get ready for a whole offseason about how C.J. Stroud has already surpassed Trevor Lawrence, right? And that's the narrative
it's coming.
right now. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think it'll be Will Anderson Jr., right? Who's the next best candidate on here? Jalen Carter, a lot of people think it's not a stat-driven position that he plays. Who else has a chance here? Joey Porter Jr., Kobe Turner of the Rams, their defensive tackle, and you know,
Branch had a good year.
Witherspoon had a really good year. Branch didn't make the list of the 5. He missed too many games, I think. He played well, but he missed a lot of time as well. I think Will Anderson Jr. will win this, and then you're looking at the offensive and defensive rookies of the year on your division rival.
Probably Coach of the Year, too.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans, that's the other big one up tonight. Dan Campbell, John Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin Stefanski. Boy, you can make a really good case for Stefanski.
No doubt.
Down to his 4th quarterback this year. At least Houston was playing with their chosen quarterback, and they were playing in a division that was seen as one of the weakest in football, right? And, you know, it probably was one of the weakest in football, quite frankly. And the AFC North, arguably the best division in football this year. I would, boy, it's tough. People love Dan Campbell, too. I might vote for Stefanski. I don't think he has much of a prayer to win the thing. What else? The assistant coach of the year.
I don't know.
Here are the candidates, though. Slowick, Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, Todd Monken, Jim Schwartz. I think it'll be Slowick or Johnson. Right? They were the hot up-and-comers. Certainly Mike McDonald and the Ravens, he led that defense, got a head coaching gig out of it. They were really good.
Yep.
I think either Slowick working with C.J. Stroud or just the overall offensive brilliance that the Lions showed is going to lead to one of those two guys.
Yep, I would imagine that's how it works out, yeah.
Those are the major ones. Comeback player of the year. That's
so that's probably Flacco or Hamlin?
That's Hamlin.
Yeah.
And there's zero chance Hamlin doesn't win that award, right? I mean, you could, to me, it could be Flacco, it could be Baker. I think Baker Mayfield is a great argument to win that award.
If I had a vote, my vote would go to Flacco, but I don't.
Yeah, I think Hamlin wins this, and it wouldn't shock me if we find out that it's unanimous because you're not allowed to vote against the guy who died on the field. Right? I mean, look, I have nothing against Damar Hamlin.
It's remarkable.
He did. It's remarkable that he came back to play. But to me, like comeback player, I guess it depends on how you want to vote for it. If you're a voter, I don't have any say in the matter. But it wouldn't be just that you're able to come back. It's that, what did you do? Like, to me, it's like, here was what my performance was. Maybe I got hurt and I came back just as strong or stronger. Damar Hamlin's like a role player, right? He's a guy that most people in the NFL or the casual fan didn't know his name prior to the incident that happened when Buffalo was playing Cincinnati. And I get it's great for him. I'm not against Damar Hamlin, anything like that. I just, like, to me, it's about, I would vote more in terms of your performance on the field.
Yeah, he got honored at the NFL Honors last year, right? That he's still around.
Right.
Like it was incredible. What had happened on the field, he was there, like for a brief whatever at the NFL Honors last year when they were doing that. You go and you look at what he actually did on the field this year. He had 2 tackles.
Right. Just by stepping on the field.
Right. It's a miracle that he's
Sure.
able to continue to play football. And look, I don't doubt that he's going to win that award tonight. If I had to vote, it would be Flacco for me.
Yeah,
I
might go
that he's going to
Mayfield.
win it. Yeah.
I might. But I think either one of those guys is more deserving based on how I would approach the award.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not trying to make this like, oh, damn that DeMar Hamlin. Whatever. It's a great story.
No, it's incredible.
Glad you're alive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want any of these guys to have any long-lasting repercussions of anything that happens to them on a football field. That's not realistic, however. All right, let's come back. Let's go around the rest of the National Football League. Got a new fresh mock from today you want to take a look at for the Jags as well. If you want to make your case for Freddie T, you can do that on the air or on social media. To get it to the Hall of Fame, 3 bullet point arguments for Fred Taylor. We did ours a little bit earlier on in the program. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the JOI studios at 1010XL. She's the gem of your ride home.
You've got something everybody wants. You've got talent, girl.
Lauren Brooks.
And I'm not just saying that.
Afternoons on The Franchi Show.
If you want to rock, you got to break the rules.
On 1010XL.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Pella Windows and Doors. Look, it's kind of cooling down right now. I love opening my windows up this time of year. If you're looking to upgrade your windows in your home, I want you to visit the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Ask about their latest hurricane and impact-resistant windows and doors, rated #1 by Consumer Reports in all 3 main window categories. You want quality, style, and protection? Visit PellaJacks.com and the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. That's Pella Windows and Doors online at PellaJacks.com.
If it's time to update your old, unreliable AC system, then make the bold move to Bold City Heating and Air. Local family ownership means Bold City AC can provide fast, premium service with a more competitive price. And listen to this. Call to get your new AC system installed this month and take advantage of 12 months with no payments and no interest financing. That's a whole year of no payments with no interest on your new AC system. So be comfortable, be bold, and schedule a free estimate today at boldcityac.com.
When you got a problem, nothing hits the sweet spot like a promise. And if you think you have a problem in selling your home, we got your promise with ChadandSandy.com. That's ChadandSandy.com. You want me to just get right down to it? As simple as this. Your home sold, guaranteed, or they will buy it. So no matter what you think your problem is, maybe you're worried about selling for less money with a lowball instant offer, Chad and Sandy will deliver. They're the only real estate experts that we are trusting and recommending with the sale of your home. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Derek on the north side. After my father passed, I wanted to move to Tampa ASAP to be close to my family. Unfortunately, my plan hit a snag when my home failed to sell with another agent in over 151 days on the market. I hired Chad and Sandy. They sold it for full asking price in less than 30 days. If they don't, they'll buy it. Call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go to ChadandSandy.com.
Visit Monahan Jewelers now through Valentine's Day for savings on all GIA-certified diamonds and discounts store-wide up to 40% off. And interest-free financing on all purchases. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. Monahan's has it all. We're not a chain store. We're your local family jeweler since 1977 with a world-class inventory of fine jewelry and diamonds and gemstones available in any size. Support your local family jeweler now through Valentine's with huge savings on our inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Like to learn how to fly an airplane? Well, you're not alone. High Flying Jacko here, inviting you to listen Sunday morning. We'll start your aviation career with a 60-minute ride on the airwaves of 1010XL. The High Flying Show, Sunday at 9 on 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and I always tell you, hey, what's hot on the street, but what is hot on the water right now?
We've got some big news from Honda. They have a boat coming out, and much like they did with their jet, they went out and partnered with an industry leader in Scout Boats. He's making the hull for them, but everything else in the boat is all Honda.
So you're talking in the next handful of days and weeks, we will see Honda on the water at your showroom.
It'll be on the showroom, and it'll be ready to go.
So log on to cyclesofjacksonville.com. They are in the marine business with Honda. Keep track of it right there on Atlantic near Regency.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Handoff, Taylor running outside. He's got room 25, turns inside 20, on his feet 15. Here he goes to the 5. Touchdown. Fred Taylor. Taylor's got it with room. Taylor's at the 15. Taylor's at the 10. Taylor goes to the 5. Touchdown. Fred Taylor. Here's the handoff to Fred. Running to the left. Looking for room. He is into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. That's 3 touchdowns tonight for Taylor. Fred running to the left. Cutting it back. He's at the 25. He's at the 20. Fred coming outside at the 15. Fred's at the 10. 5. Touchdown. Fred Taylor. His 4th touchdown of the night.
So letting that music hit for a second because it was a little abrupt right there. But Freddie T, could have had 5, could have had 6, could have had 300 yards rushing if he hadn't been hungover.
Yeah.
Right? That's the legend game right there. Fred goes for 234 on the road in Pittsburgh, highest total by an opposing player, and said he went out partying too much that weekend before the game. And had he not, he felt not so great on Sunday. Had he not, he thought he would have set the NFL record that day. That is a big cell phone, but again, it's Fred's words. He's the one, he put this story out there years ago. We've talked to him about it on the air, and what might have been, but what was pretty good. 234 and 4 touchdowns in their house, or what is now referred to as Duval North, I believe. I mean, come on, how many times can you beat the same team in their house in the same season without taking the deed away from them? I think the Jags clearly own that right now. So anyway, that's probably the greatest single regular season game that Fred Taylor ever had statistically.
Mm-hmm.
May not be your favorite, but it was certainly among the greats. Trying to give good vibes to Freddie T. We'll find out tonight whether or not he gets into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Apparently, and we don't do the speed trap stuff. People have been sending us speed traps all day. They're all over 95, right? They're just everywhere. I saw so many people pulled over today driving into work. So just, use caution. Be careful. Maybe, I don't know, go the speed limit is a thought, or just slightly over that.
Yeah.
As far as that goes. Let's see. Someone says Mayfield will win. Hamlin barely played a snap. He was a healthy scratch most of the year. Don't disagree that that's true about Damar Hamlin. I think that they're going to vote overwhelmingly for Damar Hamlin for comeback player of the year, regardless of this. I agree with you. If you wrote Mayfield should win, I would agree with that in its entirety. I don't think Mayfield will win it tonight. In fact, I don't even know if he doesn't finish behind Tony's guy, Flacco. I think you're right, Tony.
Yeah.
I absolutely see it being a Hamlin, Flacco, Mayfield 1-2-3 finish.
I'm looking at Fred Taylor's stats against teams. right? Just wanted to take a look at what exactly he did against Pittsburgh over the course of his career, right? Because he obviously had that magnificent day. The most yards he had against any team in his career was against Indianapolis. Not a surprise, division rival. Played 14 games against the Colts, had 1,251 yards in those games. Played 19 games against the Titans, had 1,056 yards. That's his second highest total, but again, that's 19 games. His third highest total against any team is Pittsburgh. Had 934 yards against the Steelers in 11 games.
Right, it's getting it done.
Whew.
That's getting it done pretty well right there. You're not going to – rare are you ever going to average 100 yards against the team, so that's pushing up against it right there. By the way, somebody asked, don't forget Fan of the Year voting. Satchel Wetzel is the Jags representative for the Fan of the Year. He's a Jaguar Fan of the Year. He won Jaguars Today Fantasy League number 2 this year. I feel like that's a higher honor, quite frankly, but it wasn't bestowed upon him. He took that. So good luck to Satchel out there, and hope he gives a shout-out to Jaguars Today when he gives his acceptance
This is
speech.
fun. I'm looking at Fred Taylor. You can go to his Pro Football Reference page, and you can order it in his career splits, right, which is where I was looking to get the numbers against the Steelers. If you just do yards per game, it ranks all the stats, right, in yards per game. So he averaged in one game against Green Bay, he had 165 yards, right? But he only got to play the one game against them. So the teams at the top of the list are going to be teams from the NFC. He doesn't play them a whole bunch, right? But he averaged 100 yards a game against both the NFL Central and the NFC South. Right? Like, it's crazy that he did that. Now, those are in 4 and 9 games, so he played the NFC South through twice and still averaged 102 yards a game against the South.
Freddie T, man, you're not going to hear an argument against him from me. I don't think he gets in today, but holding out hope to be sure. All right, let's take you around the rest of the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
And one more interesting note, over 100 yards a game that he got to play in a dome throughout his entire career. Just a little nugget right there for Fred Taylor. Kansas City has activated wide receiver Sky Moore off of their injured reserve list. Chiefs cornerback L'Jarius Sneed missed practice earlier this week to be there for the birth of his daughter. George Kittle on the other side was limited in practice on Wednesday, but he is expected to be able to go on Sunday. The Las Vegas Raiders are hiring Mike Caldwell, who has worked the last 2 years as the defensive coordinator here in Jacksonville. He will be their linebackers coach and run game coordinator. And Pittsburgh Steelers owner and team president Art Rooney II was asked by KDKA-TV about the possibility of the Steelers trading for a veteran quarterback this offseason. Rooney said, quote, "As we sit here in early February, we're not closing the door on anything. We have a lot of evaluations to go through. We'll go through all of the options and do what we need to do to be better this coming season." Head coach Mike Tomlin 2 weeks ago, when asked if the starting quarterback for 2024 was currently on the roster, he responded with a quick yes. So at least the options being left open for the Steelers here as they get into their offseason.
Yeah, as a fantasy manager, give me Mason Rudolph. Because George Pickens, they remembered he was on the team that year. George Pickens, who had that one catch against the Jags, it was for a touchdown. Good for him. Nice short little touchdown that he had. I mentioned one guy wins a Jaguars Today Fantasy League, and look what happens. FanCam calls up here at 641-1010. I think it's coincidental, honestly. Cam, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. No complaints from this end on the elevation of Freddie T, the most exciting football player I've ever had the privilege to watch in about 57 years of watching football. So I'm hoping for him tonight, and I just wanted to chime in with a little karma for Fred to get him over the hump tonight, and let's hope he gets in. You sure? I just got frantic text from Meathead. You sure Satch didn't come in second in that league?
Was that? He lost to you guys? Is that what it was? I said, didn't he win one of our leagues? And
I think you beat me in the semifinal.
No, he's talking about Satchel.
Yeah.
Satchel.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So Pockets looked it up for me. Pockets, who won that league?
Let me look right here.
Oh, here we go. Come on.
The steamroller known as the Longboards, I believe.
Won. They beat Satch.
Did you not just tell me Satchel Wetzel won Jaguars Today League number 2?
Yeah, my bad. They were
All
the
right.
1 seed. They lost in the championship.
Yeah, we squeaked it out by about 47 in that one, I think.
All right, so
go
then he
back to
will
your
win Fan
drawing
of the
board,
Year.
J-Pac.
Yeah, man, that was terrible on J-Pac's part. But bad on my part for trusting him, Fan Cam, honestly. But
Artistic license, Mike.
I guess. All right, thank you, brother. Have a good day. There he goes. That's what it was. Honestly, Fan Cam was already on hold before that came up, and I couldn't remember. Like, it wasn't me, so I don't remember everybody exactly. I remember he advanced far. Fan Cam took you out in the semis. I think Satchel took me out in the semis, is what it might have been. And then the longboards, not to forget Tom McManus is co-managing that squad, took down Wetzel. All right.
I'm having too much fun looking at this Fred Taylor stuff. Right,
Well,
like
save
the dome thing.
save
But
your
this
thoughts on him, and
this one is it's kind of just a funny one.
Okay.
His lowest career yardage total against a team in his career, Jaguars. He played one game against Jacksonville, had 35 yards in that game. That's his lowest total of his career against an opponent.
Well, was he with New England?
Yeah. They played one game against the Jags while he was up there, and he played the game. Got 11 carries for 35 yards.
Shut you down, Freddie. Shut you down. That's going to be held against you. Look, the voting's already done.
Yeah.
Right? The voting's already they're just going to announce things tonight. So
Hayes in that barn, whatever it happens to be.
Right. And you know what? If not this year, hopefully in a year coming up very, very soon. All right. We've got final segment to go here on Jaguars Today. We'll look at some of the bullet point arguments for Fred Taylor that people are making to try to get him in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Still time for you to get in at 641-1010. This is Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith. I'm not going to mention the other guy who totally steered me wrong. My bad for not remembering pockets, but doubly my bad for not for trusting you, I guess, is how it should go down right there. Thank you, Fan Cam.
It be your own people, man.
It is. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll move on. Apparently, I also got told I'm a boomer anyway because young people just refer to old people like me as boomers. It doesn't matter if you're actually a boomer.
Okay.
So that's fine. Those young people are wrong, but that's how language works, man. It's like the word literally. Literally has come to mean the exact opposite of what it means by a lot of people, and that's an acceptable way of using the word to some. All right, we'll take our final time out here. Come back. Some more thoughts on Freddie T and the Jags in general as we close up shop for this Thursday. Don't forget, Tom McManus in tomorrow right here with us on Jaguars Today on 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy sandwiches, dandy subs, absolutely 100% delicious no matter what variety you try because they're made with the highest quality ingredients. The Thompson family don't just want something easy. They want something lasting. They built a company over 65 years ago that continues to thrive to this day and just grow bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a First Coast company. It's a Jacksonville-based company employing Jacksonville people, maybe family members, maybe friends of yours. Who knows what the case may be. But you know this, if you swing into an area gate station, you see that Dandy or Anytime Deli label, you're going to get the highest quality ingredients, the highest quality products, great variety, and you know the prices won't give you sticker shock as well. So just a fantastic amount of options from sandwiches, subs, breakfast items, salads, fruit cups, veggie trays, protein packs, you name it. Dandy's got it for on the go or anytime in Duval. If you're hungry, do what I do. Go out and make yours a Dandy. Do it today.
Jaguars Today. From the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios at 1010XL. No static ever. Download the free 1010XL app for Apple and Android devices and take us with you wherever you go. 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet love our community. That's right, we spread the love by giving back, and every year we give hundreds of thousands of dollars to our local community. Plus, we give all our customers lots of love, too. Every new vehicle purchase comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, and every certified pre-owned vehicle comes with a 7-year, 100,000-mile loving warranty. Plus, we give the most loving for your trade. Help us to continue to spread the love and head to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. We're here to wow you and give back.
Luke Bryan. Mind of a Country Boy Tour. With special guests Lily Rose, Josh Ross, and DJ Rock.
June 13th. Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. Free sale for City Card members now through Thursday at 10 p.m. Before the general public on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Luke Bryan, Mind of a Country Boy Tour.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best product and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Rollin' Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to Cam Locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Get wet with Captain Kevin. Whoa! And remember to bring your net on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Oh, that's a beauty!
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Look at him!
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Dave Binion here with my son Ammon, who is the air duct cleaning manager at Zero Res. So Ammon, you may notice a little rattle in my voice and some puffiness in my eyes. That's because allergy season is coming on. Can Zero Res help?
Yes, your health has a lot to do with the air you breathe. A clean and healthy home begins with clean air. At Zero Res, we can help clean the air in your home by cleaning your air ducts, cleaning the coils in your HVAC units, and fogging the system with a powerful antimicrobial that helps kill and control the growth of microorganisms in your air. We also have options for maintaining your clean air with our excellent inline air purifier and UV lights that will help keep your system clean and healthy. At Zero Res, we are more than just air duct cleaners. We're a clean air specialist.
So, what deals do you have this month?
Right now, get $100 off your air duct cleaning, and while we're at it, we'll give you $50 off your dryer vent cleaning.
Zero Res.
Spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
Good friends and great memories. Everybody hopes to have a bunch of them. The best way to make more is when you're out for a good time, keep an eye on your friends and make sure everyone gets home safe. Anheuser-Busch reminding you to always drink responsibly.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Frank Frangie here. I was born and raised in Jacksonville, and I love living here. But I also know how bad bugs are in Florida. So I trust Orange Environmental Services to handle all my pest control needs because they've got the best technicians and effective treatment. Their name may be orange, but they think green. Orange Environmental has been serving the First Coast for over 50 years, and they now offer complete lawn maintenance services. Call Orange Environmental Services for peace of mind from bug problems today. Call them at 272-3284. That's 272-3284.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Jaguars Today
on 1010XL.
Handoff, here comes Fred, looking up the middle, now cutting back, there he goes, Fred's at the 40, Fred breaks a tackle, he's on the run at the 50, Fred's on the go, he's at the 30, Fred 20, Fred 10, he's into the end zone, touchdown Jacksonville! Wow! 70 yards for Fred Taylor. Now hands off, Taylor running left, cuts it back, he's got a hold, there he is, 30, Taylor outside 40, there he goes to the 45-50, it's a foot race 40, Taylor 30, Taylor to the 20, he's to the 10, he's pulled down, but he gets into the end zone, touchdown on the first play of the game, 77 yards, Fred Taylor erupts. Fred Taylor getting the backfield, spins out, now runs to the right. He's free at the 30, 25, stays on his feet, 20. There he goes, 15, 10, 5. Fred Taylor, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
I feel like Captain America. I could do this all day, okay? All day we could go deep with the Freddie spectacular highlights. Good luck, Fred Taylor, when it's announced tonight who the inductees will be for the 2024 class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And we'll find out tonight. And if it's not tonight, I'm sure it'll be sometime in the future, but I don't want this thing to drag out for years and years and years. I would love to have Baselli and Freddie T as a pair of Jaguar Hall of Famers, and then we can,
real focus on Jimmy.
Real focus on Jimmy. Yeah. Not that, look, you can. It's not like we can't multitask, but Jimmy hasn't gotten to this point, and there are a lot of receivers with a lot bigger numbers. I think Fred stands out much more against the rushing crowd than Jimmy does against the receiving crowd. That's not to say Jimmy was not and is not deserving. I think he is just based on the numbers, but we'll see. It's not his time right now. We had Chad Ryder on earlier taking a look at some draft stuff. I keep seeing Brock Bowers, Tony, almost make it to the Jags in mock drafts. I don't know if that's good or bad, honestly, because they have so many needs, and it would be a luxury pick for a team that has Evan Ingram.
We talked about it early in the week.
I know.
Like, I would be so torn.
I know.
Because the big part of me would be going, what are you thinking?
If
tight
they took
end.
him. Yeah.
Right? But
the other part would be like, damn, that Gronk Hernandez thing was pretty good.
I would have no doubts virtually no doubts that he's the best player available to him.
Right.
Like, if he's still there when they're picking at 17, but there would be that tight end. Tight end.
Look at it. This one at CBS has him going 16th to Seattle. Prospect ranking, 4th overall.
Yeah.
That's overall. Yeah. Out of every player in the draft, position ranked number 1. Obviously, this is interesting. They have J.C. Latham out of Alabama. This is from Chris Trapasso, who does a solid job, I think. Said, going to the Jags, Latham would be a prudent selection for a Jaguars team that needs to get the most out of Trevor Lawrence. Very similar to kind of what we're talking about there with Chad Ryder. Will they draft a tackle, move on from Cam Robinson, and either install the rookie at left or right tackle? Latham is 6'6", 360. So he's going to lean on somebody in the run game, Tone. Is he ready as an NFL-ready pass protector? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not an evaluator of offensive linemen, but I don't hate that idea in the middle of the first round.
Not at all.
Protect Trevor Lawrence at all costs. Let's get a call in here before we get back to our conversation. We'll get to some of your bullet point arguments for Freddie T. If you want to make one on the air, you're welcome to. We'll keep it to 30 seconds. We'll run the clock on you. Harry in Mandarin apparently does. Good morning, Harry. How are you?
Enjoy you guys. Listen to you every day. Explosiveness.
All right, hold on. Well, Harry, let's put you on the clock first, all right? And you can start right there with explosiveness, just so we're limiting everybody to 30. I'm probably talking more than it would have taken you to make your case.
Mike, that's all right.
That's all right. You know how I am, Harry. I never shut the hell up.
I know. I listen to you every day.
Well, I appreciate that. And all right, here.
Thank you, Mike. You guys are great.
Thank you, Harry. Here's the countdown. You can start your argument for Freddie T in 3, 2, 1.
Explosiveness and 4.6 speed. He's got it all. Let's get him in.
There you go. Explosiveness, speed, 4.6 yards per carry. Harry, I don't have a great feeling about his chances, but I'm with you. Let's get him in.
I don't. It's this thing with Jacksonville crap, and I've said it for all these years. Even when Baselli was in the running, it took him a long time. It's just the way I feel. I see everything I watch every day.
Well, Harry, we appreciate you listening. Thanks for checking in and giving some good vibes for Freddie.
I'm wrong.
Yeah,
nice.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, look, I do think if Baselli played a full, another 7 years healthy in Jacksonville, he would have overcome the Jacksonville stigma. Yeah. I think Fred's stigma is the Pro Bowls, and part of that people attribute to playing in Jacksonville. And, again, this is not a Freddie shot at all. I think if you've heard anything we've said, and you know how we feel about Fred Taylor, but if you go back year by year and look at the years he didn't make the Pro Bowl and just look at the running backs that were doing some of the things that they were doing in that era, Tone. And, Sean Alexander and Priest Holmes and Jamal Lewis and Edgerrin James. And there was only 1 year that I came up with where I felt like, man, there's a no-doubt slight this year. But the rest of them is like, man, I want Freddie in there, but I can understand why you'd put these guys on at least equal footing with him in that given season. Cumulatively, it's got a great argument overall. Harry, thank you for the call. Let's get Bruce in here, and then we'll get to some of your social media responses on this today. Good morning, Bruce. What's up?
Right. I had a quick question for you guys regarding the draft.
Okay.
Do you think that Beathard is good enough that we could get a second or third round, maybe a fourth for him?
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance. No, I really don't. And then obviously you'd have to replace him. You know, what did Gardner Minshew draw for the Jags? Like a sixth, Tone?
Yeah.
Was it a sixth?
I believe so, yeah.
I think I don't even know if Beathard would get you that, quite frankly. You know, he's a backup. You know, if I thought I could get a mid-round pick for C.J. Beathard, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Without a doubt.
For a guy that you're not going to play, right? And then let's go out there and find another veteran quarterback to cover. Let's go get Flacco in here, right? I mean, there's plenty of guys out there that – because the reality is – and C.J. came in and won the one start that he had this year, and that's great. But the reality is that guy's not going to carry you for an extended period of time.
Yeah, Minshew for a sixth-round pick, 197 overall. They used that pick on Greg Jr.
Yeah, I don't think Beathard would even get you that, honestly. So I appreciate the question, though, but, you know, I'm with you. If there's that one out there, let's do it. Let's find them, Tone. All right, here's some bullet point arguments for Freddie T. from Scott. 15th in all-time rushing yards, tied for 5th in yards per carry. I don't think that's right. Not tied for 5th in yards per carry. Maybe over a certain amount of carry. If you're talking about a certain amount of yards.
Yeah, I was looking at it among players with 2,000 rushing attempts. I think he'd be
2,500. Right, something like that.
If you up it to 2,500, he's 4th.
He's like 35th or something like that,
Somewhere
right?
there.
But there are a lot of those guys that have played much fewer. So
if you put the number at 2,500, then the only guys ahead of him are Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson.
Sure. Right, but that, you know, that's
2,500 is a bunch.
You got to bump it up there.
Right.
12th in yards per game. Let's see. This one says likely could play any position in any era at any level of football. I don't know about that. It's Fred Taylor. Okay. Let's see. One of only 3 guys to average over 4.6 yards per carry. Again, based on certain thresholds.
Parameters.
Right.
Yes.
Ask guys who he played against who are Hall of Famers how good he was. No question about that. Let's see. Watch the games. Got that a lot. Jim Brown's favorite running back. We made that point ourselves. Proved who he was his first snap in the NFL. It wasn't his first snap. It was his 3rd game. It was his 8th carry. But we know what you're talking about. That first snap when James Stewart went down. We played that highlight earlier. The 16 rushers with the most yards in front of him that are eligible are in the Hall of Fame. Among those ones who are eligible, they're all in the Hall. Absolutely.
Yes.
Production.
The other 2 will be.
Yeah, production, longevity. Look at the jump cut. The 234-yard game against Pittsburgh, longest run in playoff history. On and on and on it goes. And a lot of people go vision, speed, power. However you want to look at it, we got a lot of great arguments for Freddie T. We know the arguments are strong. We know he's deserving. Doesn't mean he'll get in this time around, but I absolutely hope I'm wrong about that. All right, let's welcome in XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
All right, hello, Matt Hayes. How are you?
Morning, fellas.
What's up? What's your best argument, single argument for Freddie T, Hall of Fame?
First off, I love Tony's right there. Backs with at least 2,500 carries. He's 4th overall in
and
his
yards
league.
per carry.
Yards per carry. Yeah, that's
that 4.6 is definitely, I think, his calling card and the highlight reel runs. But to be fair to Fred, like Fred suffers in the touchdown department. If Tom Coughlin hadn't pulled him at the goal line so much, that 4.6 isn't 4.6 either, right? If he's getting a lot of 1-yard rushes or another, you know, that would probably be more like a 4.4, something like that. So there's a plus and a minus to that as well.
He'd also have more touchdowns.
He would, no, right. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. The expense of getting more touchdowns would result in a lower yards per carry average, and that's just how it is. And, you know, we all think around these parts Freddie T is very deserving, obviously. So.
Yeah, I think if the team that everyone thought should have won the Super Bowl had won the Super Bowl, he's in. Right.
He would have had to get there first.
Which is ridiculous.
That's
if you think about
how
it.
the game's played, though.
Yeah, but it's.
Hey, look, whether you want it yourself or not, when they look at your resume, they're like, all right, X amount of Super Bowl titles, X amount of Pro Bowls, whether you got voted in on name at a certain point, it's just, it all counts, and at least in the voters' minds, it does. So what are you guys getting into today?
We'll get into a lot of that. Jags, obviously. We'll talk a little college football. National Signing Day was yesterday. It's all football, man, all the time.
Breaking down Bogdanovich going to the Knicks.
Yes.
Trade deadline, 3 o'clock, baby.
Fired up about
It's our guy. I am, too. Need some points off the bench. So there you have it. All right, Matt, have a good show.
Hi, guys.
For the next 3 hours. You're lucky we stick to the Jags and a little bit of the rest of the NFL. You don't want to hear me talk about the Knicks and the trade deadline. You get that from Hicken. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The Mayo Man this morning. I ain't going to let anybody slather me in mayo either. So how long did Hick went 11 miles yesterday, and what was the final tally in terms of time?
3.5 hours.
3.5.
Left his house at 5:30, got here at 9.
Yeah, I did 6 yesterday. Now, you're not going to do the second 5 or 6 in the same pace necessarily. So I think I can absolutely keep that pace with Hick there. The impressive thing to me was he's wearing shorts at 6 in the morning yesterday.
It was cold.
It was a little chilly, I'll tell you. I don't mind bundling up when I go out there. All right, that will do it for us today. Tommy Mack going to join us tomorrow on the program as we'll look back whether or not Fred Taylor got in. We'll look ahead to Super Bowl 58, all things Jags related from the week as well. With Tom, thanks to Chad Ryder from NFL.com for stopping by, for Tony Smith and Dylan Denmark. We appreciate those guys, obviously, but all of you out there listening, we appreciate you absolutely the most, however you consume the program, through the radio dial primarily, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, the text line with your responses. We appreciate all that stuff out there. So thanks for listening to Jaguars Today. We'll wrap up our week tomorrow. I'm Mike Dempsey for all the aforementioned. Stick around for XL Primetime for the next 2 hours on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute.